the Lunchbox reviews. We are doing episode 7 of What If. It's called What If Thor Were an Only Child. So just kind of the basic premise. This is kind of like the party episode where, when you're in high school and you party at a friend's house and the mom is on their way, so you have to clean up frantically. Basically, that's what this episode is. Did it work out that way? What did you guys think before the spoilers?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna start. I really like this one. I thought it was awesome. I know, like, we're probably at odds with you guys, but I thought it was cool because like it went all in on this concept, and it's like, okay, we're gonna do goofy teenage comedy romp, and like they pulled out a teenage comedy romp on a cosmic scale. And to me, Chris Hemsworth, his charisma shows. Like supposedly he's got great ad lib, and it shows. He's a really funny guy. They put him perfectly. Tom Hiddleston showed up. He's hilarious too. They're both, they play so well against each other. So funny. And then when it came time for the action to happen, it was amazing. It was like Dragon Ball Z, Captain Marvel versus Thor. Spoilers, by the way. But it was cool. Like the only thing that dragged it down was like the Jane Foster and what's her name, Kat Dennings stuff. But yeah, I give it a thumbs up.
I mean, I think I'm at a point with What If where unless it's like the Doctor Strange episode, they all kind of get a little forgettable for me. While I watched this, when I was entertained by it, like I was definitely like, I had some chuckles, like I had a good time watching it. It didn't blow my mind in any way, but honestly, like this is what I thought all of What If was going to be, where it's just like a fun situation, and this is the one that's actually, I think, the most fun, because as I'd said way back, I'm here for a good time, and so was Thor in this episode, so it worked for me in that sense. It's not anything I'm like gonna tell everyone about, but like it was a good time. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I liked it more than I thought I would. There are times where Thor is just really kind of, even though it's a cartoon, just overacting and think he made himself like dumber than he actually is. But some things were really funny, and as Alex touched on earlier, I'm glad that they actually just went full funny. Like not, we don't have to talk about like tone or anything like that, because they just went full funny. And I liked a lot of it. There were some things that missed for me, but so let's talk about it. So let's start off with act 1. Start off with Jane and Darcy at the desert. They detect something, and boom, party Thor and friends arrive in Vegas. And when in Vegas, you start a party. We also find out that Odin goes in his Odin sleep. So Frigga tells Thor about, responsibility. You have to do this, you have to do that. You're going to be the next king. I did really like that part where Frigga kind of just pokes Odin in the cheek a little bit. That's one of my favorite parts. And since this is, party Thor, and they know that Heimdall was going to see what they were doing, they're like, I think Thor mentioned, what better place to have a party than somewhere Heimdall wouldn't even look. So it was a great party. Skrulls were there. Howard the Duck was there. Grandmaster. It was really cool just to see a bunch of like the space people. And shenanigans ensue. What do you guys think of the first act?
I didn't know what to expect going into this episode. So I was thinking like dark tone What If. I was like, uh-oh, Thor's gonna come here and take over the world or do something of that nature. So I had this like 1 second where I was like, oh no, and then he's like, party, and I'm like, okay, whoa, that is not what I thought was going to happen. And then the fact that it was just exactly that, it was just a party, I thought was really funny. Like that, to me, especially after some darker episodes, going just like full humor with it, that caught me off guard, and I thought that was entertaining. And this setup of the party, like I liked. It was fun seeing all the characters, because it felt like these throwaway cameos, which are always kind of fun in this setting. Like, oh, look at all these people partying together. Like Drax is there. We saw Yondu. We saw like a whole bunch of people just doing their party stuff. And they got the voices of almost all of those people, even though they had like literally one line at a party. I thought that was kind of fun too. So it was fun.
I think most of the cast that is going to be in Thor: Love and Thunder, like we're in this, like voice wise.
Yeah, I mean, Michelle brings up a great point. Like we've been conditioned to expect like this really dour and moody stuff that doesn't really pay off. It doesn't really make sense. Like these characters are all going to die for no reason, so the stakes are low. But like this is just fun right from the start. Like it's just a party. Thor doesn't want to get caught by his mommy. And Hemdall, like the only like complaint I have is that there's no voice. It's really difficult to capture Idris Elba's voice though, so I completely understand if he wasn't available. But yeah, it set me up. Like I wasn't expecting. Wasn't expecting to have a good time watching this episode, so I was like really cautious, but it paid off eventually.
You guys pretty much are on the nose with what you were guys talking about. So I'm gonna kind of just mention what I didn't like about the first act, and actually this kind of mostly throughout the episode was I felt like Miss Academy Award winner Natalie Portman was reading off like a piece of paper. Like it just seemed weird, like how she delivered her lines. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel natural. But yeah, that was my only complaint. And I love the party scenes. And yeah, it's a college party or a high school party. It is what it is. So with that, let's move on to the second act. So this after a night of partying, Jane wakes up along with like Thor and friends. They get woken up by Maria Hill and Shield, and they take Jane and Darcy with them to the helicarrier where they plan to eliminate the aliens. So they grab the beeper. Oh, by the way, why there's no Nick Fury is that he got smacked and apparently he's still unconscious. So that was really cool too. So yeah, they call Captain Marvel. Loki shows up as a frost giant. So this was because Odin gave him back. And it was really cool that it's still calling Thor brother from another mother. So there's still that connection. They were still buds. So Captain Marvel shows up, calls him White Snake because, references. Really cool fight scene. And I think this was the part where Carol was just holding back, saying that she could have just destroyed part of the planet with if she went full force. And so they regroup. They have another plan. Jane, seeing the plan, goes to kind of Heimdall to get her to meet with Frigga. And yeah, what do you guys think?
Well, covering like the fight, I thought the fight was awesome. Judging just by like the movie, this is real nerd stuff right here, but like just judging by the movies, I thought like Thor's gonna like get destroyed and whatever. But I guess that wasn't the case. I mean, they were hitting each other, across continents. I never really got the impression that Carol was holding back that much because like they were both hitting each other, and nerd talk, but real analysis. Maria Hill was a little more on the annoying side. Like she was making these like weird calls where like Fury probably wouldn't have but this is more third act, like like deciding on the nuke, dropping the nuke. They're like, okay, that's a little too much. But as it stands, the stakes are raised, and you do care because like Thor is such a fun-loving character. You like Thor, but like his negligence is causing all this disaster. And this is a true what if, because like what if he was an only child? He doesn't gain the experience of humility and the hubris that he did in Thor, the first Thor movie. So I think it's a valuable lesson.
This act for me, I think, was kind of the slower of the three, just because it had the most Jane in it, and she was the issue that I had as well. It
Glad
felt
we're all in
stiff.
agreement.
Yeah, and like the storyline, like get her out of here. It doesn't, like, I don't know. I guess that you can't have a Thor without her being around, but it just felt like too much. Um, the only thing that I did like, there was the jokes about like them having sex, and I thought that was really funny. Like that actually like caught me off guard again, because like they wake up and it's like clearly after a night of drinking. It's like heavily insinuated that like things have gone on. And then Darcy has this line, or Jane is saying, oh, you know, I met the alien diplomatic relations, something like that. And Darcy's like, oh, is that what the kids are calling it? And I don't know what it is about that line, but I chuckled pretty hard. I thought that was really funny that they were just like, yeah, we're gonna actually like really put that joke like that. I don't know. I don't think sex jokes happen very often in the Marvel universe. So if they do, I haven't noticed it. And that one to me just caught me off guard. I thought it was really, really funny. And it felt like a line that like Darcy in the movies would say, because her character is very consistent in how she just like is very snarky and like has those quips. So I liked that part as well. I agree with the Maria Hill like more in the third act situation, but I think because they had what's his name, Rumlow
Crossbones.
Frank Grio's character, why would he not just be that person making those kind of sketchier calls, because he is a sketchy dude? I just think it would have fit more for his character, for him being like, no, do the nuke, do it, like this is what we want to do. And Maria Hill being like, oh, I don't know. That would have felt more in line with the characters for me. But I mean, I don't watch What If for like true character building, so let's be real, it doesn't super matter at the end of the day. The fight was awesome. Alex, the moment you said Dragon Ball Z fight, I'm like, that's exactly what I like, 100%. I was like, this looks so reminiscent of something to me, and that's exactly what it is. It's very big. It's big, out of the world, across the continent. I like the punching across the continent and seeing the name of the continent. That just made me chuckle. That was really funny. Yeah, the fight was great. The fight was the highlight for me of the entire episode for sure.
Same, yeah. You guys already talked about it. I just really wanted to talk about the fight. It was really cool visually to see that fight. Dragon Ball Z, and then when they went up in the air, some kind of Looney Tunes where you see like which part of the world they were. I really like that. And if you're one of those people, you're probably gonna try and guess who that lady was sitting by the beach. I know that's gonna be a question that people ask, because there's no way that they were gonna just show that random lady, but who knows? That's for the really hardcore ones. This is if I'm not thinking of.
You know what? I thought at first it was gonna be Frigga. It's like, oh, Frigga lied and she's just having her vacation away from everything, and then she's gonna pop up at the end. But no, that wasn't the case. So yeah.
Well, to me, the way that I think the light hit some of the hair, I was like, is that Rogue? And then I was like, oh, no, like, stop it. Before you go anywhere, no, stop. So yeah.
It's a person on the beach.
Really cool fight scene, and I guess we can move on. So during Thor and Captain Marvel's second fight, Maria Hill was going to order nuclear strikes, which made Crossbones really happy, fingers right in the button. And this is when a little while ago, Jane had gone to Frigga and told her what Thor has been doing. So at that very moment, Frigga appears, and of course, Party Thor explains that this is his study group and that they're here for a cultural exchange. Frigga seemed interested and tells Thor that she'll be there to see his report, or syllabus, I think she called it. And this is where Thor panics and pleads with his friends to help him clean up the mess. The friends are about to leave, and Thor had to use his big voice, that thunder thing, and tells him that his mother is coming, and they seem to be all afraid of Frigga, so they all pitch in, get the place cleaned up just in time for Mom to arrive. So after this, all is well. Thor is with Jane, and boom, a bunch of Ultrons arrive, and with the lead Ultron, who happens to be kind of Vision, and he had the Infinity Stones on his chest. Let's go. Let's discuss.
um, uh, the Ultron thing, that Ultron thing, it didn't work for me. Like the only positive I can say about that is like it might redeem Ultron because like he was kind of lacking in the movie, but like in my opinion. But no, it was a fine ending because it stuck to the tone. Like it didn't get ultra serious and stuff. It was and plus the visuals is just great of like Stonehenge being patched up, the Ferris wheel over there in London, you know, being put back together, but and then the frost giants fixing that arch. I forgot where that arch is. That's
St. Louis.
St. Louis, yeah.
And Surtur.
Yeah. Oh, that was hilarious. God, I love that. He's just hitting on Statue of Liberty until the arm comes off. Yeah, no.
And he sticks it back. Like,
yeah. That was, yeah. It was really good. Yeah, it hit all the right notes for me.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. Like, I don't know. For me, it peaked with the fight. Like, the big fight was really awesome, and then like the rest of it's just kind of like cleaning up this very childish storyline, I guess would be what I'm trying to say. So it plays out exactly how I'd expect. Like, oh, mom's coming, we got to clean up. Okay, friends, let's clean up. And then like the thing at the end where he calls the hammer, and then the hammer's all covered in party things. I'm like, of course you can't actually get away with it. Like, you know, it plays out so how I'd expect. Which was fine for what this was. I wasn't trying to like, you know, I don't need deeper meaning in Party Thor. You can get drunk and make a mess. That's fine with me. The Ultron situation, honestly, I don't know what reaction they're hoping we're gonna have in that moment, because I'm sure we're not having the reaction that they wanted of like, oh wow, they're building this universe, like we're gonna see all these things happen, because it's been a couple episodes now where like there's that final reveal and like things are happening and they're clearly like building towards something. And I don't care about that. I'm more involved in the self-contained story. That's totally fun. I love it. I don't need anything else. Just let it end the episode, be done with it, carry on. So
yeah, it was a full-on comedy, Marvel comedy until, you know, the very end, where it had the serious Marvel fans go, even the Watcher said something, and then you see the image of Vision / Ultron, which was, I have to admit, was pretty cool. But again, it sort of just kind of added nothing to that story. I think if most of the What If episodes didn't have like an end credit scene, this would have just kind of worked better as an end credit scene for me. Just finish that whole fun episode, which was exactly what it was. It was just a fun episode. Michelle touched on earlier. It's like, you know what's gonna happen. This is like Ferris Bueller when he's just running to get home and the mom is coming. That's what it felt like for me.
Yeah.
And then it did that thing with Ultron, which was, I don't hate it, but it should have been just a end credit scene. Yeah. So with that, what are our final thoughts of this episode? And let's give it a score.
All right. I'll go. I did like it. I think it was great. It was one of the better ones. Not as good as the Doctor Strange one, because that one was like it felt more emotional. This was a different kind of emotion. It was pretty consistent with laughs, and the action was really cool. It probably, well, besides that Doctor Strange one, it had like the best action. Very creative, very funny. I'd give it, I'm torn between 7.5 or 8 out of 10. Probably 7.5, because that Ultron thing just, it was like I predicted that they're gonna do a whole shared universe.
It's happening.
Thing. Yeah, I know, but because it like Marvel's up its own ass, and like it shows especially in this cartoon series, which should have been just standalone episodes. So yeah, it's yeah.
I mean, I pretty much agree with all of it. Doctor Strange by far the best episode. I give this one, like, I don't remember what I gave anything, so I'm gonna give this one probably like a 7. It was fun. I think my like I don't know. I liked still the Black Panther Star-Lord, T'Challa Star-Lord better than this episode because I like a little bit of heart with my silliness. I like a little bit of both together. I don't like fun. I don't like whimsy. This is too fun. Even though I'm here for a good time, I'm not here for a fun time. It was fine. It was a fine episode. 7 out of 10 for me.
For me, I didn't hate it. It stuck with its fun tone throughout most of the episode, 99% of the episode. It wasn't anything special. It got some chuckles out of me. Again, you guys mentioned it already. The fight scene between Captain Marvel and Thor was really cool. And yeah, for me, this is a 7. Nothing special. 7. With that is our episode of What If, episode 7. Please do all the things that you do for the YouTube, like, subscribe, talk to us, whether you're human, android, robot, selling your sex website. We're here for a good time. Let's talk about it. I haven't made the video yet, but we are still trying to get to 1,000, and we are giving away a Daredevil statue right here, but I'll make like a cool little video for it later. Once again, I'm joined by Michelle and Alex, and we'll see you next time. Peace.